Alrighty guys, welcome back to Fur and Feather Outdoors. If you haven't already, go and check out the last video I posted of us crimping and seeding these food plots. These food plots were seeded and crimped August 15th, I'm pretty sure. It is now September 5th, and we're going to be planting some of these Tractor Supply plot spike seed, I guess is who it is, but forage oats. We're gonna probably split this bag roughly between both food plots. This one right here won't get quite as much. Then we got one planted around the corner there, and it'll get most of it. And from what I've read, the brassicas and clovers we got won't fully do it for our no-till system, so this will give us a lot more mass, and deer apparently love them, so we're gonna see how they do. Alrighty y'all, fixing to quit seeding this plot. Here's the oats we're planting. There's Lena. I just wanted to show you here in this little bare spot all this brassica and clover, because this is the one we planted the autumn buffet in. So it's got all the brassicas and clovers in it. You can see all the brassicas shooting up. I did plant it thick because we did the no-till, and honestly we've had really good germination even with the drought we had. We didn't have rain for probably a month, and everything's still germinating like crazy. So it'll probably be pretty thick in here. But you can actually see all the clovers and everything up in there. So I was really happy to see the clovers. I wasn't sure how they do. You see them all sprouts. I also wanted to show you all that when we first crimped this, everything was laid down really well. And in the last video I was talking about I needed to add some more blades to my roller crimper. And most of it did lay down, but there are some spots and some ones in there that did not get laid down. And I think my blades were just spaced out too much, to be honest. So I wanted to show you all some of these brassicas and stuff that have grown. Look at the plant on that. I don't think the deer have realized yet that these are really food. They have not touched them. But there's definitely plenty of bulbs. So there'll be a lot of excess nitrogen in the soil. But we had some decent bulbs grow for the first year. I was really pleased with them. They're just gonna die off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I did notice, and I remember hearing about it somewhere, but you see how this plant is growing crooked like this? I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that, but it is growing plumb sideways and not growing anything. So I'll have to look into that a little bit, because a lot of them are doing that. The ones that aren't are growing awesome. And this plot actually grew better brassicas than the other one. You can just see here this big leafy green. Let's see what kind of root it's got. Oh yeah, a worm. But it grew sideways still. So I don't know if it didn't have enough of something or what. I want to show you all the plot. We do have whatever this is growing back. Some type of tree weed thing. So definitely next spring we're gonna spray this plot heavily when we crimp it. That would also help if we had sprayed it. We wouldn't have to worry about it if we didn't crimp it all the way. But it'll do just fine. Everything else should die off, and all of our fall stuff should grow in. So I'll be curious to see what we get. Definitely a lot of weeds because I didn't spray. But they say the more you do this no-till, the less you should have to spray. So we will see. It'll be a testament if it does work. I think some of the weeds, they'll just have to be sprayed just because they're real hard to get rid of even with spraying. So we're gonna get to it here. We just got this one finished seeded, and we're gonna head on to the next one. Alrighty guys, so we just about got this plot all seeded. It stretches all the way down there and then comes through here. It's about, I'd say it's about a 1/4 acre. And the last plot I only did about 5 to 10 pounds. This plot I'm doing about 15 pounds of oats, and that's not a lot. That's really super light because it says that 50-pound bag will plant 1/2 acre, but I've already got a lot planted here, so I don't want to overdo it. I'll show you guys. So like I said in the last video, we have the autumn buffet planted about right there, and then all of this is just brassicas, and then up through there and around the feeder down there is clovers. I just want to show you, we got a lot of rain here recently, and just the germination, it wasn't hardly growing anything here. I mean, there was a little bit. Everything is just taking off. There's a little clover. You can see all the little brassicas in there. So this is the top side of the plot here. Like there's a little thick spot right there. But like these right here, these are really well spaced out. And then we come to the bottom of the plot. You can see it's thick. So I'm not sure how it's gonna do down there, because they are super thick in there. And what I'm getting at is, I planted this with pretty much what you would say you should plant a no-till food plot with, which is 2 times the amount you normally would, because they say it won't germinate, but I've almost had full germination rate of everything, and we'll see what it does. But I will say this little bottom half, which I'm glad it's only this little bottom half, is really thick. So if you have really good soil and things just grow well there, don't overseed it too much. I would recommend overseeding it a little just for the no-till, but not twice as much as you normally would. That's just crazy. Unless you have like sandy soil and stuff just doesn't grow well. But with the summer blend, the 2 times as much, I don't know if I necessarily did 2 times as much, but I split up a 50-pound bag between these two. I only had this back then. I didn't have all this, and it worked well. But the straight brassica seed and stuff, it's a lot to be 2 times as much. And the brassicas, they germinate really well. So we just seeded about 15 pounds of oats in. So we'll update you guys on that, and hopefully you get to see these brassicas take off. Still gotta fertilize it. I haven't fertilized it yet. I'm waiting on another rain before I fertilize it. So I think last time I fertilized it, it just didn't work very well. I think I did it without a rain too much. So you can see here, guys, how much seed I still have left out of this 50-pound bag. I probably got over half left, but I didn't need to use it because I already have a lot planted. I just needed to kind of fill in the gaps, if that makes sense. So we're gonna head on back to the house, and we'll update you guys as the fall comes along.